All right, hey guys, Garden here today. Bring brand new video. Today is going to be my King of Games online circuit second place deck profile, where I lost to the same player Scorch twice, and I'll go on it a little bit later. The reason why I used a different deck, Sky Strikers, this time is because I got ninth place last week in the season. I mean, week 2, season 3 King of Games thing, because I just wasn't able to really play around hand traps too well, and unfortunately, it kind of bricked, and I just couldn't be able. I wasn't able to combo much as usual, so I wanted to try something else. Where I used this and got second place. The Sky Striker deck. I did some play testing, and I think I need a little bit more testing with this deck because there are some things that could definitely be changed to where I could have even won it. But yeah, let's just go in on it already. Triple Ray, pretty standard. Um, Using triple Ash and triple Ogres, what I found most comfortable in any matchup for game 1. And I didn't run Valor because I just didn't like it would like I would consider like kind of like a break in the term, I guess, like where I couldn't use later, or you could just play around it more easily because it wasn't very good in every matchup, so that was it. Triple engage, of course. 2 multi-row, don't want to run free because I don't want to get multiples of it, and 2 is just like the perfect ratio. Triple area 0 with 2 terraforming. Running this just because I feel like now you need to run as much of these as possible to get your raise, get your any card that could start your combos. Because if you don't, then you're kind of screwed. So yeah, I just run triple this and double terraform because you just want to get your turn started as much as possible, since the Hornbit nerf really took a hit on the consistency. So you really gotta stay more consistent by using this. Triple Widow Anchor, of course. 1 Ego Booster. I didn't use 2 because in testing I didn't really find it that where I had to use 2 often. I used 1 sometimes, just like stall out or play around hand traps and stuff. But yeah, it just didn't really pop up often, in all honesty. Just really weird because I expected it to be much better, in all honesty. Shard Cannon. This was good in some matchups, and it helped for like just linking away and trying to finish off my opponent. So it was nice, but I might put it in the side deck. Who knows? I might even take it out. 1 Hornbit, of course, because you kind of need it. Triple Twin Twister. I feel like this is a format where you need a lot of back row hate nowadays. So really triple Twin Twister with double Cyclone. Cyclone's just like it's good for like popping multi-roll or field spells after you hit a face down, because like I know Altergeist players use like they use like Hidden Village, or like Trickstar players you hit the light stage, Druidic players you hit the diagram, Sky Striker players you of course hit the area 0, and and you can even hit the magical midbreaker on Gokis, possibly. I don't know. Yeah. And then Twin Twister is just like it's 2 spells, of course. It's a spell card itself, and you can use it to discard something like your extra Area 0 or like your Metaphos Fusion or something like that. So very good as well. Rhoda, pretty standard. Then I'm using the 2 Foolish Goods with Metaphos Fusion combo. Just felt it really helped with consistency and grabbing engage more often. 1 Upstart. The Solemn package. Use this mainly just to stop all the special summoning and monster effects, because I feel like as long as you solemn them and then keep the Widow Anchors up, as long with also the back row hate, then you can easily outgrind any opponent. And then Upstart, pretty self-explanatory. Afterburner, I already said Upstart, didn't I? Okay, whatever. Afterburner, I run 1. Most people run 1. Some people run 2. I actually have another one in the side deck, which I'll explain for later. And yeah, side deck cherries use it to target firewall, usually in the against Gokis, which actually ended up backfiring. I'll explain later. And you can cherry Kagari, of course, really helps in the mirror. They'll share red also for the mirror and Goki. Roll Decree. This is like a tech card that I used. So usually if they bring up a floodgate and red reboot, I'll show you. Red reboot when your opponent activates a trap card. Okay. Now you can't use red reboot after they already flipped the floodgate. However, if you flip Decree after they use the floodgate, so like if you draw Decree later, you could still negate that floodgate, which is what really helps. And it's actually really good against Ultra guys, where like you could just keep Decree up, and then they literally can't play, because as long as you Widow Anchor the Metal Seek, then they can't do anything. Especially if you have multi-roll to just recycle the Widow Anchors. And then Elveiler never had to use free. It felt like I had enough other cards to negate. I didn't really need it. I already had enough hand traps. Or really thought that I need to use a 9/8. This was like a tech card against against fucking Gokis. I think Forbidden Graveyard might be better for Gokis. But this was also meant for Burning Abyss, because essentially they could like banish cards from their graveyard to make like BLS, or they could just target a bunch of monsters with other fucking effects like Fairy Tale Snow or Sir and stuff like that. But they could also recycle with Dante. But so that's why I prefer this against BA over Forbidden Graveyard, where Forbidden Graveyard they would still go to the grave, but you just negate the effects, and then turns after they could just make stuff. So that's why I prefer this one. Honestly, it worked out. Honestly, I wish I drew it against the Goki player I played against. I used it for 4 matches, and all 4 times didn't draw a single time, so that was unfortunate. And then Afterburner, jamming waves. This is just for grinding against certain decks. So I'll go in depth about the Solemn pick. This was normally to of course outgrind them, but also like it really helps in the grind. But it also hits Nat Beast, because you could bait Nat Beast with it, and then same thing with this. So that's how you really play around Nat Beast if they ever made it with BA. Also, if you have multi-roll up against Nat Beast, it's also pretty easy to play around it. So extra deck, free Gari, free Shizuku, free standard, 2 Hayate. Honestly, I felt that I didn't really make 2 that often, and I might cut it to 1. Now, if you run like the Phantom Sky Blaster, then you could run 2. But I think 2 is really good if you have this Phantom Sky Blaster. But right now, I should probably cut this to 1. I'm not running Phantom Sky Blaster because I felt like it wasn't really good it was like considered like a break in matchups like Ultra Guys, True Draco, Goki, stuff like that. I mean, like Bear Package, Bomber Dragon is actually I didn't make any of these except Trispania a couple times, but when I was testing, these actually really helped as like boss monsters to like deal a lot of damage and get rid of big threats on the field. Firewall Dragon was just a cherries target, but because like they can't combo turn 1, but it's actually backfired to where they went second. I cherried Firewall. They made Isolde, Bear Hug, and Unicorn. They did like 7k damage, and then I couldn't have a recovery play, so I ended up losing. So my matches. What are my matches again? Hold up. Oh yeah. So my first match was against Trickstars, where I beat them 2-0. It's actually pretty simple. Nothing against him, but I felt like Trickstars have been kind of much easier to outgrind. Kind of, I don't know. It's just been pretty simple lately, in honesty. Ever since they haven't been able to access the Sky Striker engine as well. Second match in top 8, lost to Goki's 2-1. Game 1, he kind of bricked and I just outgrinded him. Game 2, he comboed me. I didn't draw any hand traps. Game 3, that's the game I was talking about where I cherried Firewall and he just played through it and beat me. And then losers, round 2, up against a nice Mega Knight Invoked player. 2-0 to him. It was pretty simple, actually. I just hand trapped. I just kept negating Alistair, and he couldn't really do anything. Losers semifinals, went up against Emperor. Beat him. Was it 2-1 or 2-0? Hold up. Okay, it was 2-1. Me. I believe I just like he just murdered me game 1, and then game 2 and 3 I just sided in cards and played through it. I just like I would like add in jamming wave, afterburner. I would negate the floodgates with roll decree, and then losers finals went up against Rogue Tier playing BAs. I played around that beast game 1. Game 2, he OTK'd me. I didn't really get a good hand. And in game 3, I kind of just outgrinded him because like I played around that beast again, and I think the only BA monster he told me the only BA monster he had left in his deck was one Farfa. So yeah, and then grand finals, I 2-0'd him. I think he just got like bad opening hands. It was a Goki player, of course. And then in the reset, he comboed me game 1. Game 2, I didn't really open any Sky Striker cards, but I got Ghost Ogre and Valor, and like I just set two a Solemn Strike and a Widow Anchor, and I just blew out my hand traps as well. It's like I passed, and he twin twisted me, and then he put up magical midbreaker field at first, of course, and then he twin twisted, and because that Ghost Ogre and Valor just didn't work, and he comboed through me, so that was unfortunate. Definitely think I could have won if I drew Forbidden Graveyard. No, I mean not Forbidden Graveyard, different Dimension Ground more often, but unfortunately I didn't draw a single time. Really unlucky. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! That's how it works. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Deck Pro. This is Scar saying out. Peace.